Alright folks, we're getting ready to show you part 2 of this tailgate repair video here. The video got real long. I had a couple of comments to the last few videos saying I go through things a little too fast, and they kind of wanted to see a little bit more of what was going on, so we kind of lengthened this one up a little bit. So we're going to be chopping today. It did rain all day yesterday, and we're going to be able to get going here a little later on this morning, but figured I would video the little bit of an introduction to part 2 here, because I really wasn't prepared to do it in 2 parts when I actually filmed it. So, and I'm actually going to be walking around this Moss trailer after this second part of the video plays. By the end of the week, I'm going to have a for sale video on this trailer. I'd like to kind of sell this trailer. So enjoy the rest of part 2 here. Remember to drop me a comment down below. Leave me a thumbs up if you like this video, and we will catch you at the end. Alright, so this is where we're at right now. We've got both of the receiver pieces set in place, and we're just going to weld them to the lower tab of this tailgate, and that's what's going to keep this actual tailgate locked for when we're wanting to haul grain. After I get these pieces welded, I'll have to pull these out, and then I'm going to bend them. I'm going to put a 90-degree bend in both of them so that we have somewhat of a handle to lift them out. So let's get this welded. Then I think I'm going to call it a night. I think I'm going to do this part tomorrow. So we'll get that welded, raise the tailgate up possibly a little bit. It looks like it's a little tight on this side. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get down in there, so I might have to lift the tailgate up and get it from the outside. So let's weld this quick, and I think we're going to call it a night here. Alright, that is it for tonight. It is just a little bit after 9 o'clock right now. I've got to rethink what I want to do with keeping that knife gate up just a little bit so that we're not scraping the belt all the time when we're hauling haylage or corn silage. It needs to be down all the way when we're hauling grain so you don't lose grain out the back. But when it's down all the way for hauling haylage, I don't want it to keep rubbing on this belt when it comes down. So I've got these angle iron guides on there. I was originally thinking about just bolting a tube to the top of that so that it can't come down in the track at all, and then it would leave the tailgate open about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. I've only got that angle iron tacked on there. I got to think about it through tonight and see what other options I have. One other option is I could take and just raise that tailgate up a little bit, the knife gate that is, and just drill a hole through the top of that 1x3 on the right hand side and the left hand side, and then just shove a bolt through it. That might be my best option, other than carrying a tube that goes across there. That might cause some problems. So I think what we might do is just stuff a bolt through there. Another thing we could do too is drill a hole. Oh, we could drill a hole right here all the way through too, but well, no, I can't do that. That doesn't come all the way through the other side. So I've got to think about that tonight. So we're going to rejoin you guys tomorrow. It is Saturday night right now, and yeah, so we'll come back, finish it quick tomorrow, pull that back off in there, prime it, paint it, and then that's going to wrap it up. All right, folks, how's it going? It is now Sunday morning, so we're going to get back on this project. We're going to get it finished. We've just got a couple things left to do to this, and then we're going to pull that gate panel out and we're going to paint it. I have decided not to do anything with the top of that knife gate / grain door. I was originally thinking I should put something on there to keep it from being all the way down for when we're swinging this tailgate for unloading corn silage or haylage or whatever. What I've decided to do, and it didn't come to me till last night, I'm going to end up just putting a ball valve on that cylinder so I can shut the hydraulic flow off to it, so that we can set it at an open height and then just lock it up with the ball valve, and that'll keep the oil from exiting the cylinder or allowing oil to go in it, and it'll keep it at a determined height. So I've got to knock off them angle irons. I don't need them on there. We'll get the gate slid out of there, slid down to where it's supposed to be, and then I'm going to put a rubber strip along the bottom of it so that it'll seal itself up tight when the gate is down against the floor / apron chain. So we've got just a little bit left to do here, and then we'll get some paint on it and get it out of here. Alright, we've got our 6-inch piece of conveyor belting on the bottom of the grain door, knife gate, whatever you want to call that. So we're just about getting ready to pull that gate out of there so I can prime it and paint it. I've got the tailgate lock bars are both in place. Now these lock bars have both have a 3/4 inch hole here, which I can put like a 5/8 pin in there to lock them in place. I don't know as if we'll really have to lock them. You'd really have to hit a good bump on the road to get them to fall out. Got a little bit of a bend on here, so you've got some kind of a handle to get them out of there, and it's also a good enough spot to whack it with a hammer in the event that these get stuck in place. So when it comes time to do haylage or corn silage, what we can do is just pop these up out of here like this, put them in the truck, and we're good to go so that we can keep lifting this tailgate. Like I had said earlier, what I'm going to do is just get a ball valve and put it on the cylinder. Let's see, what would we want to do? We'd want to shut the flow off on the return side so that you couldn't put it down any farther. If you put the ball valve on the pressure side, if the other side leaked, it could still creep down on you. So I've got to get a ball valve for that. We're going to pull this gate out of there. I got to grind off some pieces. I got to clean this up here where I welded this 1x3 in there. I had to stack another one in there to take the place of this cylinder mounting bracket here. So we'll clean them welds up a little bit with the grinder. I got to clean this one off in here because I had a piece of angle iron on there that I was going to use to keep that gate centered. And that's going to be it for that. So what we'll do is we'll show you how this piece of rubber is going to work. It's going to secure, it's going to seal up the bottom of the tailgate. There is a little bit of a gap at times because the chain sets right here, and then down in the center, you know, you've got a little bit of a divot there, and you could have wheat flow out on you out from underneath this gate. So that's what this conveyor belting is going to do for us. So let's demonstrate that quickly. We're going to get that gate out of there, prime it, paint it. We're just going to put this down until it touches the conveyor belt. We're just going to turn the conveyor belt on to pull that back a little bit. Alright, now we got the gate all the way down, and then this is secured all the way across. It's not going to let any grain out of there. It's going to have a nice tight fit. Yeah, so this is the conveyor belt, and it's from here. It's from here down, so that's pushed right down against the floor, and that's not even, that wouldn't even let water out. That's how tight of a fit that is. The trouble is wheat flows like water. So let's lift this up. I gotta pull the truck ahead, get the forklift underneath there, and grab this gate. Alright, just as easy as that. We've got just some welds on here that we're going to clean off in there, and then I got some oil on there too from where the cylinder leaked a little bit of oil, so we're going to have to be sure to get that off or the paint's not going to stick to it. We'll splash some primer on there quick, and then we'll give that a few hours. Probably going to take most of the day before the primer's dry enough, and then we'll splash some black paint on it. So let me get this cleaned up, get some primer on there, and then we will rejoin you guys after it's all painted, and we'll install the gate back on there, and that'll wrap up the video here. So we will see you guys in a few hours here. Alright, we're ready to throw the paint on now. I've got the base coat already applied. And what I put on for a base coat was POR 15. The gate setting over there on the sawhorses, and then I've got one tailgate lock bar hanging from the ladder, and I got the other one hanging from the cylinder. So the POR 15, I use the black POR 15. POR, if it's not in the sunlight, you don't need to put a top coat on it. But however, if it's going to be affected by the sun, you need to put a top coat on it, or it just turns to like a dull gray. So the back side of the tailgate, I sprayed POR on. I'm not going to put a top coat on there. It's just, you're not going to be able to see it from, you're not going to be able to see it. So we're going to put a top coat of just some regular medium gloss black. This is actually John Deere paint. So we're going to throw that on there quick, and then we're going to let this dry. And then it's a little bit afternoon here, Sunday afternoon, and we'll let this dry overnight, and then we'll slide the tailgate up into place, put the cylinder pin in it, and then we'll be good to go. Alright folks, we've got the tailgate on the Aulick trailers all done. We got kicked outside. It's about 7 o'clock here Monday night now. This tailgate right now is set up for how we would have it if we were going to haul grain with it. So I'm going to release the locks, the manual locks. The locks were on the knife gate, the old knife gate that was on the truck that rotted out. So we're going to pull these flat stock bars out of the tailgate, and then we're gonna demonstrate how the tailgate's supposed to work and all that happy jazz. So we're just gonna lift these up out of here. They're just 1/2 inch by 2 flat stocks here. So when we go to haul corn silage or haylage, we'll just set these here in the cab. Open that tailgate up, Junior. I'm just going to set these in the back of the Dodge for now. So this trailer came equipped with a remote control. Now the valve body on this trailer to run the functions is right on this back left fender. Now there's a valve on here that controls the speed of the apron chain. That's right here. Now this valve, you can slow this apron chain down to go like 2 inches a second, 1 inch a second. You can slow it right down. I've dumped this trailer, I've dumped grain into a 6-inch auger before. That's how slow you can run it. But with this handy remote, what it enables you to do is run the controls back on this trailer right from the seat of the truck. It's real handy for when you are hauling forages with it or whatnot, or even if you're standing at the grain elevator, you haven't got to be right in the dust. You can just run the remote. Now I'm going to lift up the knife gate right now. There, the knife gate is lifting. Alright, now typically on the old gate you'd have to have, and before you lifted the actual swing gate, you would have to lift the knife gate all the way up. Come over here, Andrew. You'd have to lift the knife gate all the way up in order to release the bars out of the bottom of the truck, the bed there. So now we're just going to raise the hydraulic gate itself up. Now there's a white indicator up on the top of the tailgate there. You can see that from the cab, but you cannot see that knife gate. Then you get your tailgate all the way up. And then you start your floor. That's all done right from the controller here. So we'll shut the apron chain off. We'll close the tailgate. Now you can get back out. You can just start out on the road with it. And then because we don't have to lock the tailgate, how we're going to treat this gate now, what you'd have to do is get the tailgate all the way down, and then you'd have to wait until the tailgate got all the way down, and then you would start to put your knife gate down. And that's how you would do it. But what we're going to do here is I've got a ball valve mounted up on the tailgate cylinder, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave that tailgate open, because I don't want this tailgate opening and closing on top of the apron chain. We're going to get that. Actually, I can close that a little bit more than that. I can leave it about there, and then if I'm opening up a field or something, corn silage is not going to scoot out the back. What Jared was doing with this last year is he left the knife gate all the way up so that them pieces weren't protruding down the side, and because you had to have it all the way up in order to have the tailgate up out of the bars up out of the floor here. So we got that up high enough like that. That's not going to bother if the tailgate's opening and closing on top of that apron chain. So we'll just take and we'll just turn this ball valve like that, and then what that ball valve will do is it won't let the cylinder return at all, and it won't let it go up, and it won't let it go down. So we can just leave that like that, and then hit your main gate up. And just do this again. This is how we'll do it for forage, and then when you unload grain, you just you can meter the flow a couple different ways. You can meter the flow with how high you open that gate, and then you just bring the apron chain back real slow, and you leave the pile right against the tailgate. And then again, turn the apron chain on, and then once you rev up the truck, that chain will really go. So shut that off, put the gate back down. And then out and about and away you go. So this tailgate got the stamp of approval here. That's a Farming, Fixin', Fabricating sticker. And what is in that sticker is the W9 with the 8700 chopper, and the 8700 or the W9 is pulling this trailer. So that's how we're going to leave the tailgate now, and then we've got to pull the tarp bows out and to get it ready to haul corn silage with. So that's going to do it for this video, folks. I want to thank you for watching this little bit of a series on building this tailgate here. It turned out pretty good. The old one was just rotted out. There was no fixing to it, and we wanted to change things up anyways. What I was going to do with that old tailgate, if it wasn't rotted out as much as it was, because them bars had to come up so high, there was just a small, area there where you kind of had to leave it down and you had to leave it up at the same time. What I was going to do is just put a piece of angle iron or something similar to this, just to make a saddle on the bottom rim of this tailgate, so that those guides couldn't fall out at all. That needed a receiver tube, but it couldn't have been too high on the gate either, because that knife gate had the support that went across that kind of held itself so that it could hold that gate shut. So like I said, that's going to do it for this video, folks. Thanks again for watching, and you can see that sticker on the tailgate there. We've got some merchandise left over from what we had done there earlier on in the spring, and we've got some more stuff coming, and it's going to be easier for you to order it. I've got some old stuff left too. If you do choose to get the older type design, if you email me at Farming, Fixing, and Fabricating, we can go through the whole PayPal thing and do those orders that way like we were used to doing it. Other than that, there's going to be, here in the near future, there's going to be a link in the description. You're going to be able to order it right from your YouTube view screen here. So thanks again for watching, folks. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, drop me a comment down below, and we will catch you at the next video.